is being the faculty never end if we are in education sector. Am I right or not? I think everyone will agree to my point. So this topic is very, very essential for us because every individual faculty, they are expert in their own area and their specialization. Apart from that, there is some important relationship that's meaning a lot, especially in the professional education, that is a mentorship. And when we are talking on a mentorship, we have some basic objective of a mentorship. Now, considering to the specific to higher education institute, mentoring is essentially a formalized relationship, and that supports, because we are into the professional learning, so that supports and encourages the professional learning. It's a two-way process. In mentoring, a sound and a trusting relationship will rely upon the degree of understanding and the responsibility shared by mentoring partners. So as per, there are a two party, one is a mentee and a mentor. So we need to understand exactly who are a mentee and who are a mentor. The establishment of the relationship is crucial and will determine the level and the quality of a dialogue, because though these relationships start at very professional level, but that particular cycle or the journey of a mentorship program end with the personal bonding. And maybe that is up to this particular two party, mentor and mentee, how long they can take this relationship. There are many example after the professional this career. Also the people, they're considering their initial mentor as a throughout lifelong mentors. So that is really a actual bonding between the mentor and a mentee. Mentoring is a dynamic process, and the developmental network of a mentoring can help mentees identify several mentors who can address variety of career related needs. Now, why exactly the need of mentor for us in a life? Though we all are basically from India, and that is something which is in our soil of India, where this particular program, though there is no formal name for this particular relationship, but yes, we already have that particular pattern, not only the education sector, but in our personal life also. We used to take advice from elder. We are very much concerned about this particular relationship. We have a mere historical event where how the people, they was taking advice, suggestion, coordination, support from the expert people. So somewhere it is very, very important. Though you feel you're going in a proper path, but you're doing excellent in that particular journey, but somewhere there will be some point, or maybe you may stuck to some point where you will be divert, or you will be getting a demotivation. Here, there is a role for mentor who can guide you, who can help you to take a proper decision. So mentoring, it is very, very important in your professional degree courses. Mentoring is to support and encourage people to manage their own learning in order to that they can maximize their potential, develop their skill, improve their performance, and become the person they want to be. Because when they take an admission for their any professional degree, they are aware about where they need to go. They have already stated with their destination. The problem is that because nowadays, considering today's scenario, lots of competition and parity, maybe there will be chance that person or the student or the mentee, they can divert from their focus. So here again, the role of a mentor who can guide, coach, and help the mentee to which path to select in that particular critical situation. Next slide, please, ma'am. Now, we need to frame the objectives of a mentorship program, and that is we need to specific with the higher education institute, because here we need to understand one basic objective of a student, why they are doing their higher education. Mostly, if you consider their Indian education scenario, the people, they completed their UG, and they are now very, very career oriented if they are doing their higher education. So here they are supposed to take every step towards their career or their future. So achieve their career development and personal goals compatible with the objective of higher education institute. Because here, one way, when we are talking about the NEP 2020, and according to the every universities and education sector, everyone, they have their own objective, where everyone is struggling hard how and what manner and how much to give back to their student in form of various ways. Okay, so this is one particular initiative can be captured and taken and implemented by every institute which belong to higher education. Support building academic leaders who have a knowledge, skill, and abilities. So here we need to first identify their skills. If there is a loophole, we need to point out as per the requirement, and we can help in to develop their skills. It could be a technical skill, it could be a soft skill. That is a really requirement of the current labor market. The foster higher levels of engagement and the career vision. Now it is very important that we, through this particular mentorship program, we need to frame how these individuals, they can short means identify their vision in their particular career towards their succession planning. Equip faculty members with tools necessary to enhance their capability within their current roles. Even that is, earlier I said it's supposed to be two-way approach. Here we need to identify how to help our students and mentee, and as one side, even the mentee, they need to identify continuously. They can go for a SWOT analysis, and where they need, here there is a loophole or there are a certain points where I need help from my mentor, they can definitely ask or they can discuss with their mentor. Create a culture, create opportunity to meet and partner with the stakeholders or cultural boundaries. Create a culture that sees mentorship as an effective way of developing a proficient individual. Now, this is one important objective of any higher education institute, that when we are getting student in the first semester or a first year, so they are this is again one type of industry we consider, and we are getting a raw material. So here we are trying to make them enable to, so that they will get a placement. Maybe it can be through campus, or maybe they can, whenever they are approaching by their own, they are compatible to get that particular any industry, or according to the need of the company, they can easily get the position in the respective field. So we are here to develop their skill, and we are making them placeable according to their specialization. So next slide, please, ma'am. So these are the objectives, like motivation, to advise them, success, direction, coaching, support, and goal. And for that, we have various type of a training program. It could be like a one-to-one, one-to-many. Like under one mentor, there could be possibility more than 2, 3, 5, according to the need of that particular higher education institute. You can have any type of a combination. Even most of the time, according to the specialization wise or interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary way also, you can actually form the list of the mentor and mentee. Next slide, please, ma'am. Now, these are supporting the mentoring relationship. So every higher education institute, they need to build certain ecosystem, because just to have a paperwork is not sufficient. According to the UGC and your HRD ministry, when they are giving certain guidelines for this particular mentorship program, during your NAC assessment, it is very requirement that you need to provide certain proofs and the detail about how you did your mentorship program. So we need to start with the documentation for that also, and the process and the objective what we have followed for this mentorship program. Every aspects we need to frame, or we need to create certain documentation. The first thing is that, like, we need to provide the detail considering with the objectives and how this combination, like who is the mentee and the mentor, it need to be very clearly mentioned during for that particular specific year or time frame. Mentoring has long been recognized as a powerful tool in a career development. So early career psychologists are advised to find mentors either informally on their own, or to participate in formal mentoring program. As all the participants, they might aware about that you already have certain mentors in your life. Sometimes you are selecting your mentor as per your choice, or maybe there are in your PR, or maybe from school, maybe from your colleges, maybe from your family, friends circle. There are some people whom you feel to mention as your mentor, and then by default does relationship. So this is a two-way approach. The choice is yours, whether you want to informally way select your mentor, or maybe the higher education institute, they can give your mentor, and that is from your education. Sometime now, the considering that the need of current scenario, many higher education institute, they are giving two type of a mentor. One is a academic oriented and one is a corporate oriented. So here they'll try to give the advantage to their students in both way. If there are a certain requirement as per their academic way, this academic mentor, they can help. Whereas according to the career requirement of a future, the people from the corporate, they can help, they can assess their feedback, they can give a detail about what is the requirement, where is the loophole, considering their soft skill, technical skill, and various skills, which is the requirement of the current labor market. So this is again very nice approach, and many organizations, they have initiated and implemented this new type of a mentorship program in their respective higher institute. Regardless of how a mentor and mentee are matched, ethics and the ethics demand that the relationship be conducted in a professional manner with consideration and respect of both individuals. So here it is very, very important that there will be, without considering, it is not by default, it's a part of a process, but there's supposed to be, it is a type of a respect, give and take to the both, means mutual understanding, then only the coordination and bonding will increase. The leadership within an institution must be recognized and identify the need for mentoring, and they plan, develop, support, and promote a program that directly address a specific workforce gap, both current and the future. Regardless of whether the leadership at an institution recognize and supports mentoring, a staff member's career can benefit from mentoring relationship, even if not officially sanctioned. Still, as per the requirement, NAC requirement, it is mentioned that you need to have, there is a certain point, I think in the student support and progression point number, according to the NAC and NEP also, they have properly mentioned that we have a mentorship program, and only sake of a documentation, if we are implementing this mentorship program, so there is, I feel we are fail into that. If we need to actually implement this process, we need to start to develop certain plan with the objectives. Then we must be have certain alternative plan if we want to run this mentorship program successfully in the campus. Because if unless and until if we don't have a specific plan, and that is like every step we need to create certain strategy that how to implement, because the generation is very smart, and according to their need, we need to keep a provision of, if there is a need of a certain changes in your existing plan, we need to keep that particular alternative rative as a considering a plan B. So this definitely will give the success during implementation phase. Next slide, please. So this is like a loop or a cycle, and it is very, very important that, and just to specify with the 4 step of stages of mentoring, we need to prepare and develop a plan, then initiate actually implementation of a plan. Cultivate means every times we need to identify whether we are going in a proper way or not. Like when we are frame the objective of this particular program, we need to always cross check and verify with that, are we are on a right path or not. So that is how to cultivate it according to the need of student or the teacher or the requirement of that professional degree, and then evaluate. So that is very, very important aspect, though this is the last step in the cycle. But unless and until we are not evaluating the process, this mentorship program never succeed. Next slide, please. Next slide, please, ma'am. Now, support to be ensured broadly in time allocation. That's reduce allotment time, because it's a time consuming, and we need to plan when we are planning academic calendar. Every institute, and even not only the PG but KG also, KG level also, they are having a very systematic academic calendar. Well in advance, they are giving a detail about on which specific date, on which specific month, what we have, which activity. So it's totally declared with the academic calendar. And here, if we have the provision of this mentorship program in your academic calendar also, that gives a vision to the mentee and a mentor, how to implement and when to implement the specific activity under the mentorship program. So definitely, this is again two-way approach where mentor and mentee, they again can plan like how to actually their every individual activity which is a part of their mentorship program. If they have a special academic calendar for their mentorship program, it definitely lead towards the success of this program. So time allocation is very, very important. Maybe from every day we can have some specific time from there, like you have 10 to 5 or 10 to 6, 9 to 5, 9 to 6. So in that also at least half an hour per day, or only 20 minutes, 10 minutes per day. It's really worth if you are having some devoted time allocated for only this specific activity. So it is a daily routine, and then you will get to know like what exactly I need to prepare or both the party will be benefited if you have a specific time in mention which is in your academic calendar for this mentorship activity. A well-considered teaching load and the class allocation, which take into account the beginning teacher's experience and the needs. Because already every participant, all you are the associate with the specific institute, and I know that everyone is overloaded with their academic, how to complete the syllabus or that particular subject course and all that. Parallelly, you are loaded with administrative work. Everyone will be agree to my point. Sometimes you feel that these are some not relevant to your academic position, but yes, sometimes you feel that, but the administrative part, which is a part of a teaching learning process also, that supports even mentorship program, nothing to do with your academic, but yes, that is directly when we are looking for overall development of a student, this program objective to implement in success manner, it is very very relevant according to the NEP 2020 as well. The position of an induction and mentor coordinator as a leadership position in the higher education institute. Regular and timetable mentoring meetings on a weekly, fortnightly basis. So you can conduct or you can give timetable for that also when we are meeting. It could be one to one or one to many. Even when you are conducting a meeting with your as a professor or a associate mentor, when you are conducting meeting with your many mentee, then it gives the idea that you can share or the all mentee, they can have their sessions, they can discuss with them what you are exactly doing. They can exchange the feedback about the mentor as well. The mentor and the novice teacher working in the close physical proximity to one another. The mentor and the beginning teacher teaching the same year or a subject level. Active support from the higher education institute leadership to both for the beginning teacher and the mentor. Even when the people join as a faculty in the any education sector, they can be treat themselves as a mentee. They are learning from their higher or the senior people. So here even they can select their senior people or a professor level uh, uh, teachers as their mentee. So here even they are into a learning process. Next slide, please, ma'am. Now, exactly, we need to identify who can be a mentee. A mentee is someone who has identified a specific personal or a professional goal and who believes that the guidance and the help of a mentor and being held accountable to a mentor can help them achieve their goal. So it's very, very important that we need to, even being a professional level faculty, we need to consider ourselves as a mentee. है ना? So, or anyone who wants to learn and seek valuable advice from someone who knows in order to grow professionally and for personally, because you join as a assistant professor for higher education institute according to the new 7 pay and the that particular structure, and you can end your journey in the teaching institute as a professor or maybe a director or a principal of that respective institute or higher education institute. So here you need some guidance, and for that also you can select your own mentor, plus you are having your mentee also and you are a mentor also. As such, the mentee needs to actively participate, retain critical faculties, seeks new capacities, seek overall development other than domain area, remain open to multiple influence and own responsibility for success. Here, we need to consider one important thing. That was a very traditional approach, maybe 2 decades before, that we stick to only one specialization or specific skill and area. But now the need of current scenario is totally changed. Here even the market or every sector, everyone is requesting and asking for a interdisciplinary competencies as well as a multidisciplinary competencies. So here we need to identify, as per your role also, you need to identify what is requirement to be a part of this particular mentorship program, being a mentor. So here if we are identifying what is my role and my responsibility being a mentor, and we need to update ourselves, our skills, our knowledge, respect to the is if you want to be a mentee and a mentor as well, for empowering the teachers in the broad spectrum of areas and developing their holistic personality. Two-phase mentoring strategy, especially for teachers and who are new entrant in the higher education system, have to be planned. So you need to plan this particular thing in a very proactive manner, then only you will implement step by step in with the success. Next slide, please, ma'am. Now, next is a mentor. A mentor is a teacher or an advisor who leads through guidance. Mentor is an individual with expertise who can help develop the career of a mentee. So, mentor guides train, advise, and promote the career development of a mentee. A mentor is anyone who offers knowledge, insight, perspective, or wisdom that helps other people professionally and also goes beyond duty or obligation. So, two types of mentoring functions we can just for the simplicity, it can be one that is very career one. Second is a psychological. So it is very, very important. And which type of mentorship you will select, being that is your mutual, what we can say, the understanding between mentor and mentee. Next slide, please, ma'am. So now personality characteristics of a mentor. What exactly are characteristics required for being a mentor? Requires a knowledge, at least a domain knowledge, role model. Because the mentee, they are considering you as a role model. When you are giving certain advice, they're also on a daily basis also they are observing whether you are following that what you have asked to your mentee or not. A confidence, the willingness to nurture, volunteer to participate, empathetic, flexible, and the collaborative. And that is really important that we need to be a flexible, we need to update, we need to change according to the need of scenario. Continuous learner, like I earlier said, it is very, very important or relevant. If we say, no, now I'm maybe a mid 40, mid 50, and towards the retirement age, now there is no need to learn. No, we can't say, because every single day something is coming new and you need to adapt with that new technology, new skill, new thing. So we can't resist ourselves. So if we are doing this, then we are creating a mental block for ourselves. So good interpersonal skill, diplomat, non-competitive, and committed to your role and responsibility as a mentor. So these are these end. There is a no specific or it is end list, but yes, these are a few important characteristics if you want to be a good mentor for your students in your higher education institute. Next slide, please, ma'am. Now we have for just to understand the how actually these mentorship program work, we have categorized into the career functions. Now one, the help the mentee learn and the ropes they prepare for a career advancements. We need to identify according to their caliber, because many people when they join this professional level in the higher education, they are already finalized key they want to do specific area or a domain, and they want to pursue their career in that only. And even being a mentor, we need to play a very important role. We need to identify whether that person is having the interest in that specialization or a domain, whether that person will do, he's having that capacity to perform, he will understand that particular domain knowledge or not. So that's here we can help our mentee to give a guidance and support in that way, whether it is a perfect choice or the decision for you to select your specialization or exactly domain area. So coaching, challenging assignments, exposure and visibility, and protection where they need, we need to protect them and various aspects. So this is related to the career function. Next slide, please, ma'am. Oh, no, this is second, very, very important, and that is current important need for every individual. Now, here we know that every family, our mentorship programs start with our grandparents, and the next is from the parents. They are our immediate mentor, because they are, we have that confidence. They build the confidence during this initial, that is our personal relationship, but still through the blood relationship it is generated, but still that's really matter, because whenever we stuck at any level, personal level, career level, they are there. We are aware about ki whenever we are in a stress or in some dispute, they definitely help to solve that issues, and really it helped. Now in the professional degree also, now why we have categorized into two level, one is a career and a psychological. We are aware about these are the professional degree, and many students maybe they first time they are away from their parents. Few people at the maybe they are about 20, but still students they feel homesick. They are maybe few people they have migrated from the rural area to urban area. They are not familiar with the living standard of a urban area. Maybe they are hesitate, they have shy people, and they are very introvert people. So these are a certain personal skill oriented issues where they are lagging, whereas the people who are staying in the urban area, they're familiar, economic wise or their particular the standard of living is high, And the people who are coming from this background, when there is they try to have a friendship between the student, they feel somewhere ki we are lagging behind. It could be possibility that they will be demotivated, and there will be a gap between the students. If we want to overcome with this particular this is very challenging, so we need to identify we have one process under the NAC, or maybe that is a part of every higher education institute, to identify a slow learner and the fast learner. So this again help us in the mentorship program. We can plan, even individual mentor can plan the individual program. Sort of we can customize this mentorship program, like what is the requirement of my specific mentee, and according to my how to guide that particular mentee, what could be the type or the sources or the tool or the multi-method approach, one mentor can decide, and they can customize their mentorship program according to need of individual mentee. Because every individual mentor, the requirement can be differ in person to person. So it is, I think, I consider it's a very right approach if you want to make this mentorship program very successful. So role modeling, acceptance and confirmation, counseling and friendship. Because ultimate, when I initiated with this discussion, I said that though you are starting this mentorship program as a very professional level, but sometime in many cases, and many, there are live cases from this particular higher education institute, it end with their personal and their forever in their personal life as well as. So friendship, again, that is a very important, like you can be sometime treating you, because somewhere they can get a mastery and they can update their knowledge, and they are superior than you as a mentor in specific domain area or specialization. So sometimes we are also learning from our own mentee. Next slide please, ma'am. Now, qualities of a mentor. Now, it is very, very important that, so this is a requirement. सबसे पहले कि we need to treat as we are a human being, and we are dealing this mentorship program with the human being. Willingness to serve as a sources of information, both in the mentee's field and within the institution. As an advisor who provide multiple perspective with guidance on better options. As an advocate, confident and a friend, as a sounding board, as a person who opens door and facilitate connection, and as a sponsor and the promoter to others in the community. So in very broad, the qualities of a mentor is given. To be very specific, mentor provides constructive feedback by reviewing their mentee's draft proposal and papers. Sometimes the professional degree or these are requirement of not only the textbook learning, but there is a one thing which is implemented and which is supposed to be incorporated according to your NEP also, and according to UGC norm, experiential learning. So here again, your mentor can play a very important role, how to help the student for this experiential learning. They can create certain cases, they can give some very live example, lifelong example, and they can through the role model, using our IT infrastructure. So various activity can be planned so that we can give them or ask them for this particular area. Mentors can also provide a constructive feedback on instructional activities both inside and outside of the classroom. Perspective and sponsorship in fact full and beneficial services is also encouraged. So here, what type of a benefit we can provide to students? Few people, maybe they are from below economic class. Being a mentor, you can help them to identify various economic support from the government, NGO, or maybe there are a non-profit organization who are providing the economic or monetary benefit to the students. We need to keep interest in that to identify what are the sources that I can help my mentee by giving them advice. You can approach this, because even for a higher education institute, the student who are from below economy or low economic class, they need a monetary support. And sometimes if they fail to get that, they can meanwhile living their career or living their education. Okay, so here we need to identify what could be the possible sources. Even if you search on the Google government website, there are lots of fellowships and these sponsorship, scholarship from various company. As a part of CSR, they are providing to their own student of India. Recently, if you go through the ONGC Delhi, there's a main office, they have come up with the this monetary benefit to the all over India student. They has given some criteria. If you would like, I will share that with your organizer. This is open for all. It is not specifically ki reservation category people, SC, ST. It is open for all. They have categorized more than 1,000 for ST, ST student, more than 500 for OBC student, more than 500 for below economic class student. So this is really help. If you have such information, you can help your mentee in monetary term as well as. Okay, there is no directly care you are paying from your own pocket, but yes, for the suppose there are students loan or a different types of a facility where you can help your mentee in this particular perspective. So this is one way again. While it is not required, it is valuable and encouraged to involve their mentee as a co-author in proposals or a facilitate contact with others as appropriate. Just to because that is a need of current, though whatever the profession or the whatever the specialization you select in a higher education institute, a research-oriented mind at any level, whether it's a MBA, medicinal, any engineering background, any technical background or non-technical background. This is a requirement of a curriculum that it should be every. There are various project work, there are various research work. So you need to inculcate that particular atmosphere and the behavior of a student will be research-oriented mind. For every daily routine also we are doing lots of research. Can we help the student to have such type of a habit? It definitely help being when they are taking any position at any organization. It really help the student if they're having certain particular research oriented habit. A mentor may also involve the mentee as a collaborator, leading to the co-authorship or a journal research paper, books and articles. So if you just mentor or help your student and whatever they're doing, maybe research article according to their specializations, you can help them. You can give a proper plan, and then you can help them to publish their whatever the work they're doing. So it's really will get credit to you and to your mentee as well. Next slide, please, ma'am. Demonstrated success in the professional activity essential for tenure and the promotion of the faculty, including having secure and sustainable external research funding, published extensively in a peer-reviewed achieved journals, valuing teaching as well as earning recognition as a respected teacher and serving in a leadership roles in their local, national, professional community. So it is very, very important that if you are taking a help of your student for your research work also, that they will experience what is a requirement, how this particular work can be done, and it help them, it motivate them to start their own with the research activity, to publish certain books or research paper, research article. So this is again, you can help in a two-way: mature professional and the research career standards, and the readiness to nurture younger colleagues, ability to desire to work with the others with unselfish caring and a genuine interest in the welfare of the faculty, department, and larger research community at universities. Mentor values credibility, integrity, confidence, cooperation, and the citizenship, communication skill, professional activity, credit, and intolerance of harassment. So you must have what is a provision for you. You need to follow certain protocol when we are doing the mentorship program. Even there was some cases which happened. That's a real cases. I can provide certain real cases with you. During the mentorship, opposite gender, like we know that even the teaching this particular professional level, how the one mentor can when they harass their student or the mentee. So it could be in a various way. It's like a mental harassment or a sexual harassment, extreme level of. But you must be aware about what are the if you're involved in such type of illegal activity, there is a provision of punishment. So you need to, by default, because everyone is looking to being a mentor with a respectful manner. So if we need to restrict ourselves, or these are a certain thing. If you are involved in that, it's definitely you are not able to success with your program. Next slide, please. These are certain qualities. Every mentors must be at least two qualities I have listed here for you: assertive knowledge, confident, competent, approachable, honest, empathetic, a good listener, experienced, trustworthy, patience, accessible, creative, kind, consistent, fair, non-judgmental, and respected by their peers. If I need to start with you, respect self. We need to respect ourselves, and then we need to, this is a two-way approach. We need to respect our mentee as well as then only we will get respect from them. So there are some desirable qualities of a mentor. Next slide, please. Expectation from a mentor, that's really important, because when you are taking this as a role and responsibility as a one particular professional person, we must be aware about what exactly expectation from this position. Awareness of the mentee teacher's context of a learning, understanding of a teaching practical requirements and the teaching learning aspects, contextual knowledge of a mentees teaches online learning of a modules, pedagogy of adult learning, and of mentoring and knowledge of the teaching profession, understanding of a higher education system and teachers effectiveness performance criteria, because there are a lots of circular and the brochures and the details which is available on UGC portal, as well as according to the AICTE there are different norms. Even we must, being a part of higher education institute, we need to read what is there under the NEP 2020. There are, I think, more than 200 pages which is involved, but there is a specific pages only for the detail about the higher education roles and responsibility in the higher education institute according to the expectation from the higher education institute according to NEP 2020. So I request every individual participant here to go through the certain thing which is there, and we can plan our mentorship program considering the objective of the NEP 2020, because now we are into the implementation phase of NEP 2020 from this year. Understanding a collection and the interpretation of evidence of learning, analysis and the reflection of evidence of learning, use of effective observation skill and strategy. So there are in a mentorship program also uh, many time what is your daily routine, from there also we can generate many cases. So that helps. For that we need to build our observation skill, and for that we need and strategy. So from that also there is a different way type of a learning we can have from the only from the observations. Demonstration of a professional leadership and understanding of the potentiality of effective teaching, counseling and the guidance skill, suiting to the needs and the requirements of the mentee, role model in various dimensions of academics. Now maybe there are a specific like in a higher education institute, though the approach is very multidisciplinary, but in that also can we have a specific area where we can earn the credential, where people can say, okay, yes, you are a perfect in that particular professional level. And maybe few people they are very what we can say the organized in documentation, or few people they can plan any event or activity very smartly effective manner. So these are a various activity or various what we can say the personality and differ mentor to mentor. Even we the people the mentor they are observing your daily routine or you or your progress, your reward and the recognition. So they are also learning from your achievements. So definitely you are a role model in the various dimension of academics. So they help and motivate your mentee as well. Next slide, please. Qualification and experience of a mentor. So he or she must be contributed to at least one of these area like research and development. Yes, being the part of an education institute as a teacher, professor or a lecturer, we are involved in the research and development activity, curriculum development. That is most of the faculty, maybe they are working under any specific university, or maybe you are working under the autonomy. So these are different types of education sector, maybe in various patterns. So you need to identify whether how you contributed for curriculum development, instructional material development, maybe online material, e-learning material, MOOCs. So maybe you are a part of that. Counseling at various level, maybe at the time of admission only, many people, many organization or many institute, they are giving a counseling to the student only to select their specialization. That time also the student or the mentee they required a counseling. So even it is very very important that how according to the you need to identify the need and the behavior of the that particular mentee, and according to that you can counsel that person. Member of a national or international policy committee, engage in a motivational talk, direct subject teaching, and everyone we are involved in that is a compulsion for us. We are teaching some subject. Mentor should be physical and mentally fit to the satisfaction of mentees. So this is very very important, because even your personal, and that is very very important for us. Like it's everyone, our IQ it's high, but parallelly, being a mentor, your EQ is also, emotional quotient, is supposed to be at least above average. So that is, I think, a basic need, because everyone is struggling hard, and considering a current scenario, though we everyone is suffering with that work life balance situation in nowadays, we need to identify and we need to control on our mood swing. You know, people or a mentee, they're coming with their issue, and if we are in a very angry mood or a stressful manner, we will not able to listen to that mentee, we will not able to guide that mentee. So before taking as a mentor, or before taking this responsibility, we need to practice with our personal skills, that is a behavioral skill. So that is, I feel, it's essential characteristic of an as a mentor. Next slide, please, ma'am. Role of a mentors: offer advice that helps the mentee develop. The role is not to make a decision for a mentee. Rather, we are giving the platform with the alternative. Okay, what is wrong? Because if we are giving them direct decision, and if he fail in that, he will directly blame कि आप ही ने बताया, you only suggested this particular way. So better way is to help your mentees, that give them alternative and ask to visualize. If you're going through this path, or maybe path B, path C, path D, what is applicable to you and what you feel is right for your future. So let them take their own decision. You just provide them a different alternative. Trained to be efficient, guidance and advice for one mentee may also be appropriate for another. Be aware of a potential pitfalls, over dependency of a mentee, exploitation of a mentors. I already said that exploitation, we need to have certain provision for that if we are, there is a such type of a cases. Over dependency. Sometimes the mentor feel that he or she or my mentee must take decision, can't take decision without my consent. So we can't do that. Whenever they are asking our help, or whenever we feel that this is a time where we need to help them, or we need to guide or suggest or take in certain situation, we can't make him a dependent on you as a mentor. Be aware of the dynamics of the relationship. Developmental needs may change. So it may happen that once that person, higher professional degree courses are maybe for 2 years, or maybe for in some cases 2 to 3 years, and this is actual time where you are actually dealing or having that particular relationship. Okay, so you need to identify, and every initial stage when he joined this higher education institute at very first semester or a first academic year, their need is different. When he become a senior in the maybe student level, his needs are changing, because he's familiar with the functioning roles as a mentee, and then his developmental needs may change. This is where we as a mentor can play a very important role. We need to identify his changing needs, and according to that we need to update ourselves also. Okay, now what he require, now what. So if we are doing these practices and we are implementing according to that, we are also making ourselves ready with how to offer our services and the guidance to our respective mentee. Next slide, please, ma'am. These are a certain additional roles and the characteristics of a mentor: role model, energizer, envisioner, investor, supporter, standard podder, teacher coach, feedback giver, eye opener, door opener, ideas bouncer, problem solver, career counselor, and challenger. I definitely miss. I have that confidence that many of the participants, they have already play a role according to these particular characteristics. So many times you are, whenever they are doing certain mistake, you are giving them yes, you did something mistake. So that time you are playing as an eye opener. You are giving the feedback on their particular performance. You are helping them to solve their issues. So you are playing a multi role when you are a mentor. So these are a certain roles, additional roles, and the characteristics being a mentor. Next slide, please, ma'am. Mentor mentee meeting. Now this is very very important for a mentee, setting a realistic goal. Now we know that this is very popular in psychology as well as when we are learning a student's psychology. We need to train them to frame the realistic goal which is achievable. So for that we have a very smart word, smart, and a specific, measurable, realistic. So we need to help them to frame a smart goal which it can be easily achievable, or maybe we need to identify with the various alternative how to achieve that particular goal. So realistic, which is achievable, time commitment, clarifying the roles and the responsibility, feedback and the communication, be efficient and respect the boundaries, because you are a mentee and you can't cross that boundary with your mentor. For a mentor, he need to consider that establish an effective working relationship, create an environment for a learning, context of practice, and the leadership. So these are certain important things that mentor must learn and remember during the internship program. Next slide, please, ma'am. Now this is the last part of this particular thing, though I have given a very elaborative approach about how, why, when, and actually what is the objective of our mentorship program. Now this is a very small and very specific model we can implement for just to make the mentorship program smart and successful. So these are a particular strategy for empowering the teachers in the broad spectrum areas and developing their holistic personality. Two-phase mentoring strategy, especially for the teachers who are the new enter in the higher education system, have been planned. So this is, even we as a teacher, that's I already said, we can customize our mentorship program. That is up to you. But our objective is supposed to be inclined with the objectives of our individual higher education institute, because you all are familiar with your vision and the mission statement of your respective organization and the colleges or institute. So we need to identify what exactly that objective, what exactly the vision and mission statement of our institute, and we can incline our strategy according to that. So module 1, this is a sample which I am sharing. Module 1, getting started, like icebreaker, organizational items, workshop objective. Module 2 is we can have a small module, and then at end of the every module we can take a feedback as well, as if we want to make the mentorship program successful. Model 2, defining a coaching and mentoring. We need to identify what exactly mean by coaching and what exactly mean by mentoring. Model 3, setting goals, identifying appropriate goal area. If it is clear with that, it will be easy for us to achieve that goal step by step. Module 4, understanding the reality, getting a picture of where you are, identifying obstacle, and exploring the past. This is very important, that when we are identifying some obstacle, that is like every month ask the mentee to do or perform a SWOT analysis. Really help, because here we are also trying to identify what are the strength, opportunity, traits of that particular, maybe in that domain wise, specialization wise, or to be technical skill oriented or the behavior skill oriented. So if we are ready with that, we will come with what is the solution to come over on that particular obstacles. Exploring the past is again important, because that's help us to see what the mistake we did in the past, we can't repeat it, or maybe something which we did good in the past, even we can take a help from our past. So we need to explore the past. Module 5, developing options. So identifying a path, choosing your final approach, and structuring a plan. It's very important that we are helping as a mentor for the just to make the foundation strong. And even for the overall career oriented and psychological need oriented, we can helping the our own mentee. Module 6 will work on wrapping it all up, creating the final plan, identifying the first step, getting motivated. So it's really help the students or your mentee if you are going step by step and you are having a strategy for each and every element in that module. Next slide, please, ma'am. Module 7, the importance of the trust. What is trust? Trust and the coaching, building trust. We must be ready with that key. We need to build the trust. For that, what could be the various activity we can plan just to build the trust between each other. Module 8 will work on providing a feedback, the feedback sandwich, providing a constructive criticism, encouraging growth and develop. Many times, that is a human tendency. We are committing a mistake. But if we are letting them know their mistake in a very proper way, then it could be a motivation for them. Sometimes this is by default. Unknowingly, we are insulting our mentee. And due to that, it could be like they will be demotivated, or maybe they will getting some stress or the sort of things. So here we need to identify how to convey their mistake in very proper way. Module 9, overcoming the roadblocks. Definitely there will be some hurdle or obstacles, and we need to identify common obstacle. We can make a list of it, could be from past, or maybe considering the current scenario, we can make a list of this could be possibility, ye obstacle ho sakte hai. Reevaluating goal, we need to reevaluate the goals, focusing on a progress. So we need to keep a track on whether we have approached towards the progress or not. If yes, how much, or how much we require to work more on that. Module 10 will be reaching the end, how to know when you have achieved a success. So for that, somewhere when we are stating a goal and objective, that time also we can set our benchmark. This is where I can consider I achieved my target. Transitioning to coaching, wrapping it all. Then module 11 will be how mentoring differs from a coaching. The basic difference is blending the two model, adapting the grow model for mentoring, focusing on the relationship. So grow model, very plan model. So the theory is available. You can go and you can use that grow model. So that is, even the Kaizen principle is suggesting it is a continuous development, continuous teaching and learning process. So if you are using that through the Six Sigma, even that help in the mentorship program. Module 12 will be wrapping up. Even we are towards the end of a mentorship program. In that aspect also, we need to end the relationship very smartly. Words from the wise, lessons learned, and completion of our action plans and evaluations. So it is very, very relevant. If when we are starting, a point is a good, you are our destination. If we achieve that, it's supposed to be very smart and self-satisfactory. Next slide, please. Now, this is a quick summary, and then we will end with this session. Learning does not only take place inside a classroom, that we always said, and even everyone, like what they, our Indian history, we used to have a Gurukul pattern, and even we have a experiential learning, role model, storytelling. These are the traditional approach that was earlier in our teaching learning phase. So definitely when we are asking them for certain outside project work, through the experiential learning, through the observation, that's again help to build this mentorship program. Developing a relationship with the students contribute to their growth. Now, when we are into the mentorship program, we always treat ourselves as the one good friend of that mentee. Mentors also grow and learn while mentoring by solving issue. Even like whenever we try to help our mentee, we try to elaborate and we try to get that particular knowledge. We are trying to update our skills and knowledge. So this is definitely help all the mentor also for the career and the career development and the succession planning. Mentors influence mentee. Definitely, that is by default or in a natural route. When the mentor role is taken seriously, it brings pride to the profession. And definitely, by default, every single mentee, they are looking you as a role model. So definitely, you need to be that type of a personality. You need to inculcate certain behavioral skill that every mentee will feel very proud to be a part of this mentorship program and selecting you as your as her or for him as a mentor. Teachers as a mentor must invest in student. So our investment is in not in the form of monetary term. We are helping the student by giving our own personal time, by sharing our knowledge, by exchanging ideas, views, communication with the students at personal level, professional level, various aspects of the that particular domain, or maybe few part from the extra interdisciplinary way. So this definitely help the student, and this is our real investment. And we feel this particular investment in student is something much more than a monetary investment, because from here return is it's what we can say, we can't imagine that return which we are getting from the particular mentorship program. Next slide, please. Now, after the program ends, though by theory, or we can say that here, when we are taking a follow for a feedback, we can end this program, but according to our degree of that particular mentee. But here we can continue with this mentorship program as per the mutual understanding. Many relationships come to be a natural end when the mentee learns enough to be independent from specific mentor. New mentoring relationship with others may be more beneficial than continuing an exhausted relationship sometime, because he is in your higher education institute for maybe 2 or 3 years, and by natural that can be discontinued. But if you want to remain in touch with you and even if you are giving a willingness, then this particular mentorship program can be forever, or else that is up to the understanding between a two mentor and mentee whether they want to discontinue with the relationship. That is a natural end for their degree courses. Program end may not mean the end of relationship. Informal mentoring can continue if both party agree. That is a mutual understanding and their willingness to continue with this mentorship program after when they are ending with the, or maybe after they are getting a degree from your institute. Pilot program will assess how mentoring meets the needs of both mentees and mentors. So here we end the particular discussion on the mentorship program. Next slide, please. So if you have any type of your query questions, now the this particular discussion is open